All right, guys, we made it. Number one. Pretty surprising here, obviously, right? We got Jordan Teamu coming in from the USFL and the 2020 St. Louis Battlehawks, my St. Louis Battlehawks. Pretty much the knock on Teamu, the limited one, is he was running for his life last year, led the USFL in sacks taken and sack yards lost. He did manage to go over 2,000 yards, which only Tommy Maddox has done that, and Garrett Gilbert in these all football post 2000. Uh, and he also threw for 14 touchdowns. Personally, I think it was a little biased, and because he should have been the All USFL quarterback, but I do think that because of the Breakers making the playoffs, that's kind of what hindered him. Teamu, Hawaii guy, originally went to the New Mexico Military Institute, I believe, and then finished up at Ole Miss. There was another USFL quarterback there, Shea Patterson, who ended up transferring because of Teamu. But Teamu's been around the block. He's played with the Texans, the Battlehawks, the Chiefs, the Lions, Chiefs again, Lions again, Washington football team, Carolina Panthers, the Bandits, and then back to the XFL with the Defenders. Now, he's been around a couple leagues. He's made almost 200 grand playing for all these teams. Obviously, we know of him coming from the XFL, where he was a top 10 rusher and then led the Bandits in rushing yards. That's kind of the double factor for me putting him at number one is because of how successful he was in the rushing attack. He's not, going to take off every play, but because of the lack of protection by the Bandits, it did force him to kind of be on the run constantly and everything like that. Now he's going to the Reggie Barlow squad, the defenders. They're going to have a lot of gadget plays. I'm hoping that they use King and Dungy to kind of take that physical load off him slightly. So he's able to just kind of be focusing on his passing game and not taking those unnecessary hits. Biggest drop off I saw with him in the USFL was a 14-point difference in his completion percentage. Where if you look at the numbers, he's projected to go over 2,000 yards again with the in the XFL 2020, throw 10 touchdowns, 4 picks, and then double his rushing attack. So I'm hoping as he matures and continues to progress, that Reggie Barlow puts him in these schemes to, rely on a guy like Puka Williams and Abram Smith, these running backs, or skilled running backs, that's going to allow him to take his game to the next level. Now, Teamu tore up, junior college, was decent at Ole Miss. He's coming into the XFL, for the third iteration of the league, and he's putting together about over 25 starts in college, in addition to 15 starts in the alt football universe right now in these alt football leagues. So I'm personally thinking that Teamu stays at number one. He's going to double up on some rushing yards. I think he could possibly go over 2,500 yards. I'd like to see him throw a couple more touchdowns. But statistically, he is like a top five alt football post 2000s between the USFL, XFL, AAF, all those goofy leagues that have showed up, fall experimental football league, XFL 1.0, and the United Football League of '09 to 12. So he's put together a decent amount. It's recent experience as well. He's been playing in NFL training camps and whatnot. He's been around some great players, 2019, Deshaun Watson, Pat Mahomes, Matthew Stafford. And there's been a decent amount of guys he's been with. Even in 2021, he was with PJ Walker and Sam Darnold, learning how to be a pro. And I believe they even had Cam Newton when he was there as well in 2021. So he's bringing in a decent amount of experience. So he'll be hopefully taking a little bit less of the rushing load. I'd like to see, De'Aaron King and Eric Dungy kind of take that, so he's not taking those hits. But regardless, I'm really excited to see this guy. 10 games. Once again, he's a fixture in these alt football leagues, and I do think he'll end the season as the number one quarterback.